Okay.
Okay, so the first question is from Che Xiong from Malaysia. What are the biggest challenges that arahats face in their daily life?
Okay. You talk about challenges, there's no more challenge anymore. Because what is there to challenge? Yeah? You live like a human being, doing everything the same like human being. It's just like your mind. When we're dealing with what we call the consequences or situation, you have the wisdom. That means you won't react like normal people at large with greed, with hatred or delusions, right? You always react in a way that you see fit individually. I don't say that everyone behave the same. You see fit, and it's for the sake of the welfare of everybody. If you talk about challenges, there's no challenge, no pressure at all, right? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Than Kun. The second question: how to see anatta, from Christine Teo, Australia?
Okay, anatta is no self, and okay, for those people who are new or who read a sutta, there's a sutta called Anatta Lakkhana Sutta, the sutta of no self, where the Buddha describes and elaborates very clearly about this 5 khandhas of our body. That means your body, rupang anatta, vedana anatta, the feelings, your perceptions, sankhara anatta, and vinyanan, consciousness. The 5, we call it the 5 khandhas. Okay, how to see? Now, the first thing we would like to normally in the teaching we say that we look at the body of ours. The easier way to see anatta is to see your own body or the body of other people. For example, it's easy for you to see anatta in other people. For example, you use the body of another being outside of you. It can be any animals or human beings, right? For example, you look at them, the changes. When we try the anatta of no self, if there's a self, why can't we control and take things and to say that, for example, your hair, the most prominent thing is your hair, your kesa, loma, your body of the hair, body of the head, your nails, your teeth, and your skin. Now, you look at all these bodily features of yours, right? You shave your hair, you shave, or you cut your hair, go to the barber, you see after a month later, it grows back again. You look at the hair, it grows gray, grow white, and it's leaving our like bald-headed now. Even with botak, you see this thing coming up. You see anatta. If it is a cell, then we can say that we can give a control to the hair. Don't do this, don't do that, right? We can't control it, right? And the body, the skin, we got to contemplate into the skin, your teeth, especially your nails. The most prominent one is your nail, where every time we trim our nails, and after a few days it grows again. We trim, it grows again. How to be a self? The Buddha said, Rupang anicca, Vedana anicca, anatta, anatta, sanya anatta, sankhara anatta, vinyana anatta. So we go one part by one part, and then we look into the body first. The first thing you must clear is this body first, until you say that you can subconsciously accept that, oh yeah, you really can't control. It's really no self. How can be a self? right? At this elementary level, now we are talking, a lot of people might find like, what is he talking about? I don't understand, right? But if you were to sit and meditate and contemplate that, if there's a self, right? Why can't we control, like what the Buddha say, why can't we control the hair of the head, hair of the body, your nails, your teeth, right? And your skin from growing wrinkles, even though new technology has been developed, science has developed so advanced, right? That they can plant hair, this and that. And once you don't have the chemical, what happens? Right? You go back to the nature, everything just, you can't control, it keeps changing. That's why it's called anatta, no self. How can it be a self, right? And you go to your bodily feelings. After you contemplate on your body already, you go to what? Your feelings, your feelings of your body, the cold feeling, the hot feeling, the pain, numbness, especially when you're meditating, the numbness, the pain sensations, all this ache here, ache there on the knees, it comes and go, right? You see these changes in the body, right?รูป, Vedana, Sanya. Sanya is what? Sanya is a perception, or we call it memory. Memory. A lot of people, we can remember things. And sometimes you can remember, sometimes you can't remember, sometimes you want to, you know, but you cannot recall, right? You can't recall, right? That's why when the Buddha said that this khanda is no self, khanda is no self, the memory, or we call it sankhara. Sankhara is what? This mind that can think, the thinking part, the analytical part, the part that can make decisions, analyze things, or contemplate, consider. This is how we put them, group them under what? Under sankhara. You decide, right? And you need to have what? Sanya, the memory to pick up, and then to think, to decide. And we have what? Consciousness. The last one is what? Consciousness. Chitta vinyan. When you have the chit itself, when it doesn't come out, nothing comes out yet. No thinking, no memory activate. The mind just itself, just a mental aspect itself. Just this pure consciousness. Then you start to think. You see how this sankhara start to work again. You see how it pop out at the mind. You see the cognizance. This watching mind, you can see there's a current coming up from it, right? Like normal people, like people like you all, or people like us, in our daily life, for example, when you are experienced meditator, normally what you can perceive is what? Your own mind state, right? You know, sometimes your mind is very clear, sometimes your mind is very blurred, so much thought, so much pressure from the works. It's not clear at all. And you sort of get exhausted. And how come you know you're exhausted, right? You see? How come you know you're exhausted? How come you know you're mentally tired? Did you aware of that? My mind is cloudy, my mind is tired. But after you take a rest, take a sleep, you see that, okay, I'm ready again. Up for the fight again. Right? So this kind of mind state, when you know how you know. But anyway, this is just explanations, right? You need to meditate in order for you to see and experience and perceive for yourself inside your mind. When your mind and the five khanda separated, you see, it's very clear, right? A lot of people, they can't see. What they can see very clearly is what? Your body, your feeling, remember, and perception only. And the chitta vinyan, consciousness, and the and this chitta, the separation. Most people at large, they don't experience that yet. When you don't experience that, you always have doubts. And you try to find your answer from the books, read a lot of books, hear a lot of talks until you pump in so much knowledge in your mind, but yet you still don't understand. You still have, hey, why? Right? Okay? That's why when the Buddha talk about anatta, you will only understand the anatta if your mind enter full concentrations. If your mind enter full concentration and there's a separation, there's a mind state that's separate out from these five khandhas. They say, wow, and you can still see, think, and it's watching over everything happening, and then come back again. Oh, hey, then you start to have the realization within yourself. It's easy to say, but if you ever have this kind of experience, then you have the confidence. You have no doubts that what the Buddha's teaching about the khandhas is a mass of suffering. And we suffer because we're blinded by these five khandhas to be ours. Right? When you understand this stuff, how these khandhas operate, it doesn't mean that there's no meaning. You still got to stay like a human being, because your lifespan, you got to spend your lifespan until you leave the world naturally. So while we are living in this world, we just keep doing what is appropriate to contribute, to help in uplifting this Buddhism for the sake of mankind. Okay?
So the next question is on feng shui. Dear Than Ajaan, what is the Buddhist view on feng shui and astrology or bazi? Is this a science or common sense? And does karma overrule everything? So the question is, A, should we concentrate our energy on generosity, morality, and meditation instead of feng shui? Or should we balance with Buddhist practice and feng shui? That's all, Chao.
Okay, we must use our common sense. You see, we talk about feng shui, it actually is common sense. I would like to bring you back to when our society is not so prosperous like now, and communication can be so advanced like now. If you were to look into, we say about 1,000 years ago or 2,000 years back, when there's no road, no air routes, no air route, no railway, no road. And how does people travel from point to point B? Like our grandmother time, how they come to Singapore, Malaysia? By boat. And the boat is not powered by engine, for heaven's sake. It's powered by what? By the wind. Right? So the feng represents the wind. The shui is what? The water. So whatever place there's water, there's river, right? There will be a lot of people staying there, because why? We need water to survive. And the only mode of transportation is by water, right? You can row your boat and you can sell your thing, and there's more population there, and you can get things done easier. And of course, if you want to do transportation, its only way is by feng shui. That's why when talk about feng shui, actually it's common sense. Nowadays, the feng shui, we talk about like in Singapore, in a modern society. For example, you talk about feng shui. You sell something, you got no parking place. So what? You got very good feng shui, so nice, but no car can stop. No parking space. Even though you have the so nice feng shui, you can only see the feng shui nice only. It's only good for your eyes, but you're talking about prosperity. No. So we talk about, you got to change with the time. Like nowadays we talk about, for example, people like you think you want to believe in feng shui. For me, I said no. It's more on our intentions, like what the Buddha said. Our intention is doing good, on dana, sila, bhavana. That's all. We see, I saw some people, they knock the wall here, knock the wall there, knock, change color here, change color there. Do they change themselves? No. Like COVID-19. Can some feng shui help them? Ask you? Yeah? The whole world, the practice. But people are like that. Huh? People, human being, human mind are always very empty with 空虚. They don't have the mainstay. So they want to find something that they can rely on. But the best thing, like what the Buddha said, our speech, our actions, and our thoughts is the best feng shui and a common sense. You see, our compassionate heart is the best. I remember, if those people ever go to Ulu Tilam, you see how I built my temple. I remember last time in Johor, there was this feng shui master. His name is called Shen Yin Tong, very famous old guy. And he come to my temple. He said, the way you build a temple, no one will come. Inside my heart, I laugh. I look at him. I say, I will prove you wrong. I will prove you wrong. It's not the feng shui, it's who is staying there and how you practice. You look at Long Pu Man Tam, you see, our Long Pu Man, Ajahn Mahbua. Did Ajahn Mahbua need feng shui or not? He don't need. And yet Ajahn Mahbua can just come and give Dhamma talk. And he can raise 13 tons of gold for the Thai Central Bank when the country is going bankrupt at that time. Did he need feng shui? No. He just go, when people invite him, he just give talk about dana, sila, bhavana. That's all. You see, there's so many people in Thailand, in the history of Thailand, which monk can do that? That's why you must always believe in merits and barami, the goodness of an individual and his boon, we call it meritorious deeds of an individual, his barami. That means that person that can bring up certain thing up. It's individual. It's our karma. When we to conclude this thing is, we call it our karma, the karma of our goodness that we accumulated in the past. This is more important, right? So if for example, feng shui, right? Coming to feng shui. If you're staying at your home, how you feel? If you're going to a house and you don't feel good at all, how to stay? If you know that the air is still, the air flow is no good, then you must find why the still air is no good. Nowadays it's easy. You can put in a purifier, air purifier, right, wrong. Like for example, I stay in Geelong, the room that I'm staying here now, because they don't have window. They only have door because it's so cold here. They don't have window. It's so funny. So on my left hand side, all this a glass panel, but no window. I said, why no window? I said, cannot, Ajahn, too cold. Only have door. But the air is still, so what to do? I got to put air purifier, and yeah, the air is very good. It's just like feng. We can change by technology nowadays. So it's more of a common sense nowadays. A lot of things like feng shui can be taken over by this new gadget, right? New gadget, and of course, I'm not running down on people practicing feng shui. Everybody got their own what do you call that, freedom to practice any kind of thing they want to practice. But this is a question and answer. I hope that you won't trigger any backfire on myself and on the organizer. That wow, are you all challenging us? No. We're talking on the aspect of Buddhism, that in Buddhist we don't emphasize so much on this thing, on the feng shui side. Mostly we are talking about common sense. Common sense is which that, okay, what are the needs we need now? What are the present situation we're going to cater for? For example, last time when we were in Pali Lai, we never think of building this meditation hall like Wei Ming is sitting now, right? Don't have. You know, it's just a small building with some cemetery behind there. And later when there's a need arises, you see the cemetery also must give way to us. We build a JD. we build a JD and build this hall. And people forget about the cemetery already. You know, those buildings behind Pali Lai, it's cemetery ground. Even the ghosts also got no place to stay. They got to go and make way for a human being, you see. So if people with feng shui, they're superstitious, I cannot stay in the place because down here is a buried ground. And it is a buried ground. It is really a buried ground. You know, it stretched from Pali Line until Talamera MRT station. So far, all cemetery. But now you see, all become what do you call it? Condominium, private housing. Nobody talk about cemetery anymore. Right? So we talk about feng shui thing. I think as a Buddhist, we got to be very clear about the Buddha's teaching that we believe in karma, right? It is only through our cultivation of dana, sila, bhavana that's more important, better than feng shui. Let me tell you, and this dana, sila, bhavana will brings you through life and lifetime if you cultivate correctly, right? And the result will brings you better and better. It's better than feng shui. This is the best feng shui. Okay.
Thank you, Than Ajaan Keng. Okay, so the next question, there are 3 parts. So the first part is, can you advise me on how to escape or manage my family drama with quarrelsome parents without feeling guilty?
Okay, we go one by one first. Right. Now, first thing, we got to sympathize with the victims who is suffering now. For example, you got to be born into a family that you have parents who got no belief in anything, right? Either their own thinking, their own thoughts, which is powered by a lot of delusion, a lot of hatred and greed and delusions, and they have wrong views, and they don't care. Right? Even they become ghosts, they also never mind. I want to become a ghost. So when you have this type of people with wrong views, it's very painful to stay with this type of people and quite frustrating, right? But what to do? They are our parents, no matter how, you know. So we try to make good, right? When we meet our parents, because they are our parents, we cannot ignore them, but rather we don't encourage them, right? For example, if they are doing wrong thing, we know that if we tell them to not to do the wrong thing or to perform some generosity or give them some good advice, we know we will encounter a very blunt kind of abusive speech from them. So it's better that we wish them good and we do it ourselves, right? We save it for ourselves. We just said what to do. You know, we cannot change their mind because, like the Buddha said, you will only advise someone when they want to listen, when they come and ask you. We don't just go and tell people like if those people who were not interested to participate in this talk, you think they will sit inside this chat room? They won't. They will say that, rubbish, what for I'm going to listen to all this repeating the same old thing again. But for us, we take it as this repeating of the same words is actually reminding us, because a lot of things that's repeated, all the sutta, all this teaching of the Kuba Ajahn are all repeated things. But yet, we human beings or we practitioner, we still can't achieve, we still can't practice in line what has been said. Is it true? It's true. We cannot cheat ourselves. We know, yeah. That's why we need, sometimes we listen to talk is keep reminding us. Human needed to be reminded every now and then. If, sometimes you tell him now or tell her now, the next minute they forgot already. Yeah? They follow their own trails of thinking, their own habitual way of doing things, and there they are. We can't help it. So are you going to be angry with them? No, we're not that silly. We just said that, okay, how to make good, right? If we can help, we help. If we can help, we only wish them good. That's all. All right? Yeah. Next question.
Thank you, Than Ajaan Keng. So I'll just ask the next B and C together. So the background of this person is the parents don't want to practice, and she's worried. How can I prevent my father or mother from haunting me in future? She heard a story about someone's parents becoming a ghost and asking for food. So how can she prevent this? Second thing is, can we transfer or dedicate merits to our living parents?
You may do. I would advise that you do chanting. Yeah, this particular person to just do your chanting, and wish them good, dedicate the merits. And in the events that to prevent them from becoming ghosts to come and haunt you, I think this is something that haven't happened yet, and we shouldn't be worried about it at this moment until it happened. Then we talk about it, because it's so hard to say thing that hasn't happened yet. It's more of a, I can say that you think too much. Don't think too much. But of course, because we have been involved in this sort of thing, so that you was, of course, your answer, you was, hey, Ajahn, how to not think? No, they are my parents. No, I'm worried about them. Yeah, I sympathize with what is happening, but well, we only wish them good. Already, I said before, if a person doesn't want to listen, there's no point that you keep telling them. After that, they will give you all this abusive speech. I remember last time, when we were so engrossed with practicing of the Dhamma, and we see the goodness arising from this practicing, the result, and we thought that it would be good for us to, tell our friends or our relative to come and join in, to persuade them, and ended up with trigger what people get frustrated, people get cheesed off. They tell me off, hey King, why are you so disgusting? Huh? You want to go temple immediately, you go lah. Why is so disgusting? Keep pressing me to go to temple. I do what thing is my business, no. You don't kepo, no. Then I say, oh, it's true, When I got this type of bashing, I wake up my idea, say, oh yeah, it's true. Huh? Dharma practice is not going to a karaoke or going to a party or buffet lunch where people can go there, take a plate, eat what they like. Dharma practice is something that you need to sacrifice. You need to have this self-restraint, a lot of controlling of many things you can't do. So again, we only talk to people who want to practice. There's no point telling people who don't want to practice, and you try to preach them Dharma, and in the end, what comes back to you is only, why you want to dose your nose in other people's business, right? Then we say, from then onward, I tell myself, okay, I'm going to just look at myself will do. If people comes along and want to practice, we pull them along. If they don't come along, that's fine. Yeah, you're pushing yourself. That's good. And only those practitioners will come together. Those people interested in the Dharma practice will come together. And for those who don't, we say no karma connection. They won't be connected. You don't worry. Even you try to connect with them, they don't want to connect with you. So are we selfish in this explanation? No, we're not selfish, because to each their own karma, to each their own mind. What they're thinking, who knows, right? Okay, next.
Thank you, Than Ajaan. The next question is from Julia from Sweden. In Ajahn Mun's biography, there are several records of him making monks train in dangerous and fearful places, like where there are tigers and cemeteries, in order for them to get rid of their fears. Is this still advisable in this day and age? Did the Buddha advise it? Thank you.
Okay, did the Buddha advise this? Now, the Buddha did stated very clearly, Rukamun Sena Sanang, that means stay under the tree, stay under the tree, stay alone, stay in the open ground, right? It depends on individual on how you want to push for the practice, right? Even now in Australia, in fact, every Saturday, Sunday, we still organize outdoor meditation in the forest. We go there at night about 8:30, and we sit until next morning, 4 a.m. Then we come back to the temple. And actions speak louder than words. And because why? Those people who participated, they really feel the difference. Because why? Because of the natural atmosphere. It's not a man-made atmosphere. It's a natural atmosphere. It's a forest, and you are faced with all kinds of natural things, right? Now, in the time of Nong Puman, or in the time of the Buddha, where human beings still don't have all this sophisticated weapon to hunt down all these animals. Of course, there's a lot of wildlife that hasn't been eliminated by mankind. People still haven't killed them. Not like today. You see, the tiger are so fearful about human beings. Even they hide in the forest, and human beings still go inside there to take them out. You see, like we can see a newspaper recently in Thailand, in Malaysia, tiger being gunned down and rip off their skin. So if you talk about is it good to be trained in the forest, I'd say yes, of course. Because why? Because when your mind is exposed to all kinds of nature thing, you have a new kind of feeling. That means exposed to fear. Like you don't know what is around you, what's going to happen next, right? And you got to be very alert and very persevering in the practice. For example, normally if you're practicing at home, especially in your room, you sit for a while. If you feel tired, you just lie down and sleep, right? But if you're in the forest, you got no choice. You can't sleep because right, it's all rock, and there's no place for you to sleep. And if you want to sleep, you think, what happened if there's snake? What happened if there's some wild animal that crawl out? What happened if there's this? So in the end, you come to the conclusion, you watch your breath and sit still. So with that consequences, it becomes a kind of help, a kind of, I should say that the situation compress you, to practice, to be in this present moment. And you can find your mind that used to wander around, wandering mind, very crazy mind, thinking of this, thinking of that, all these thoughts rising for your mind, all stop. Because why? Because of the fear. So it's very good, very, very beneficial to go to the forest. I love to go to the forest. And those lay people that I brought them, they never retreat. They come every week. They say, wow, very good, Ajahn, the meditation improve a lot. I see. But because in this generation of our generation of people, we are so attached to comfort, we can't, we attach to the comfort zone. So my intention is come up from the comfort zone and see how. Come up from the comfort zone, which a lot of people, they don't like. They say that why should I come up from the comfort zone? It's so nice to be in the aircon room, so nice to be in a safe place, so can meditate properly. But is your meditation meditating properly? I doubt so. They meditate, pain only, chain left, chain right, cushion, add one cushion, afterward, pull the pillow and then boom, sleep already. Because you're in your room, right? But you have forest different. Yeah. So I encourage, if you have the opportunity to go in the wild or in the forest, open ground, like for Singapore, we don't have, we go to nearby cemetery or to any quiet garden, will be fine. Yeah, will be fine. Yeah, better than nothing. Okay.
Thank you, Tan Khun. Question number 7 from Julie in Singapore. Since I was a teenager, I had a vision of myself cutting myself or using a nail or sharp object into my skin, skinning myself, removing my flesh and bones, etc. I stopped indulging in this as I thought it was suicidal and perverted. But I wonder now if it might be a good topic for meditation. Could Ajahn please advise?
Okay. Yes. Actually, it's not suicidal, right? Because we never have the thought of committing suicide. All these are past karmic. They arise subconsciously into our mind. I can say that it's a blessing in disguise. It's a blessing in disguise for a person who don't have to meditate, and already this kind of thought have been arising in them. But of course, we're not going to do physically cut it. We can use it as a meditation object, meditation exercise for the mind. When you cut it, you see, now if any individual, after meditating for some time, if there's a visions of a knife coming to cut you, or axe, someone took one axe chopping towards you, or ghost figure, a skull, or the ugly bloated body, don't be scared and don't run away or try to deny or push away the vision or to dodge, like hey, this coming to me, you want to siam, don't have to, right? Instead, we just use this image as cutting. Okay, continue to cut. For example, the meat come, like, okay, cut the ear, cut your nose, just bring it, bisect the whole body and then burn it. This is a kind of mental exercise to educate our mind, because our mind is very attached to this body. When you bisect this body and burn it, sometimes, so for certain people, they will cry because why? They saw the real thing. They saw the real thing of what? Actually, there's nothing. You die it, there's nothing. You burn it, there's nothing. There's really nothing, right? You will cry like a small baby like that, really cry. But you're not mad. It's very good sign, because why? Then your mind will slowly detach. A lot of things you used to be very strong craving on certain issue, you will start to, the more you do this kind of exercise on yourself, on your body, the more you're cutting away a lot of attachment in your mind. The individual practitioner will experience and see for himself. They will know themselves, right? And no word can express. For example, sometimes you used to get agitated or very particular with, but after this kind of mental exercise, this kind of mental training, reminding yourself, cutting, burning, and you find it. You find that you're not so particular anymore. People might scold you, all this harsh word, harsh treatment, unfriendly attitude to it. You feel that you're no more agitated, You're no more concerned about what people say anymore. Then you say, eh, why have I become like feelingless, like no feeling? Huh? Last time you used to be very angry when someone talk bad about you, but now like no lasa like that, no lasa, like no particular anymore. That's a good sign. That's a good sign that you are improving, because why? Your anger is reducing, your hatred is reducing, and your delusional mind is reducing. Right? Okay.
Thank you, Than Ajaan Keng. Now we have question number 8. As a lay person, how do we differentiate between the right and wrong thoughts that arise in our minds during our day-to-day life? How do we cultivate right concentration? From Atuya in Australia.
Okay, there's now a person who don't meditate, right? All human being, I use the word all human being on earth, if you are born, there's always good thought and bad thought, right? That will arise in our mind, right? And we acknowledge that this is kind of the thoughts that arises. We will know because we have mindfulness. That's why we need to cultivate mindfulness. When we are mindful, we can acknowledge the arising thought moment in our mind, even though it's a good thought, a bad thought. We know because when bad thought arising, how you feel? You feel lousy. Huh? How you feel lousy? You feel agitated, anger when bad thought arising. Huh? Your breath was shiver, wobble, and emotionally you don't feel nice. Huh? Right? You can detect from here. Your body will shake when you get angry, right? But if you are happy, you will do something very wholesome. You cultivate kindness in yourself. You feel very carefree, very happy. Even people are nasty to you, but you don't take grudges with them. You have compassion on them. You feel sorry for them for how these people have this bad thought. And we're not going to take grudges. And you feel happy. We feel happy because we always cultivate this thought of kindness within ourselves. Huh? And of course, if you talk about how to cultivate concentration practice, meditate, right? Meditate, do walking, do chanting first. Of course, my advice is do long hour chanting, right? After chanting, then you sit until you're tired, you walk, right? And again, you got to change posture. This is only with the formal practice. And informal practice in your daily life, when you're doing things already, your mind is concentrated already, then you can really concentrate on your job, right? Which you has been assigned to you, which you supposed to be responsible to do, to deliver your job. You must have the concentration. So this concentration, everybody have this kind of concentration in certain level. Everybody have. It's just that the concentration is very, very not so powerful, but calm enough for individual to execute their daily life without fear, right? But that's why we need to cultivate, we call it Buddhist cultivation, concentrations. We need to cultivate. And for this kind of concentration to be developed, we need what? To start with the precept first. No killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, no telling lies, no alcohol. All these restrictions, right, will make the mind calm. So the mind don't feel remorse, Because every time we do certain unwholesome action, we feel remorse in our mind. Whether you like it or not, you will feel remorse. Because why? Deep inside the heart, you said, yeah, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have said this, I shouldn't do that. Because we're enduring something, we're doing something unwholesome. And this impact become a karmic forces in our mind, right? And that's why we need to have this precept to control our actions so that our mind, even though it's crazy, there's a lot of craving, want to do, but you say that, no, you have this precept, you better don't do. It's for your own welfare and happiness. And we believe that this precept can help us at one level, we are actually controlling our mind already, right? And then with the precept, the help of the precept, we practice meditations. And this is how our meditations go hand in hand with the precept. We move ahead. The more we practice meditation, the more clearer we are, the more we have the confidence that, yeah, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't transgress my precept. And this thing go hand in hand. And your mind become more and more confident, more and more happier. Because why? You don't commit all these unwholesome actions. That's why your mind can get peace and calm easily with the help of the precept. Okay?
Thank you, Tan Chao Kun. So, Tan Chao Kun, we're supposed to end around now, but since there are a lot of questions, we have like 25 questions. Now we are only at number 10. Can I
Go
ask?
ahead.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Okay, so next question is the norm is to use samadhi to develop wisdom for meditation. But Mahasati is the utmost importance to achieve samadhi. Longta Mahabua mentioned in his talk that wisdom develops samadhi. And I understand that this technique is applied when the mind is not calm and inclined towards a restless state. Can Than Chao Kun kindly advise and elaborate on the application of these two practices? Thank you.
Yes. Actually, I use this method. Because I'm the type of person who think a lot. And when I was first ordained in Rayong, I sort of, how to say, my mind was in a very chaotic stage. Like if we were to do this kind of mental analogy, just like there's so much traffic up in the mind. One thought moment, all kind of crazy things just cram into the mind. So many things. It's not only one thought. Oh, so much thought. Bum. And it's very painful and it's very, very frustrating because of this what do you call it? Thought traffics, mental thought traffics jamming out your mind. It makes you very painful and frustrated. So in the practice, we knew that, okay, so how are we going to apply this technique? Of course, we're not going to use external thing that doesn't have an object or focus. So the best object of focus is what? Our breath, our bodily feelings. You see, our bodily feelings, our breath, or our bodily feeling. We just focus on the body. For example, normally what I will use is I will just focus where's my head, my neck, my spinal cord, my pelvic bone, my right thigh, right ankle, right lower leg, right ankle, right base of the feet and elbows, toes, and then my left thigh, left ankle, left lower leg, left ankle, left base of the feet, and what do you call that? The toes, and come out to my what do you call that? My shoulder blade, my right shoulder, left shoulder, my hand, right hand, left hand, and all the way down to the fingers, palms, fingers, and the forehead, your eyes, your nose, your ears, your mouth, your what we call it collarbone, your chest, your solar plexus, your lower body, and you go in. You see, keep referring your mind, keep letting it label inwards to your own body, inside whatever thing you can label in your body. For example, your internal organ, from the tongue go inside is like esophagus, your windpipe, and then connected to your chest or to your lung. Inside the lung got what? Got windpipe. On the left hand side, you got your heart. The right hand side got your liver, your spleen, your stomach, intestine, small intestine, big intestine, your kidneys, your rectums, your organs, and go again and again, many rounds. Keep doing it until the mind comes to a complete stop by itself. How? It will stop by itself when you keep pushing it, keep directing it back to the body. And then you find the mind will come to a complete stop. That means no thinking, no thoughts. Because why? It's too tired. The mind just poof, stop. Everything just stop. And you are aware that the sankhara stop, the thinking process stop. But of course, it's very tiring. It's very tiring, but it's very, very rewarding. At this stage, the mind is sort of blackout. It's very black. It's not clear, not bright, because it's just that you really full swing, use out all your mental energy until the mind very tired, it stop thinking. Right? And next moment is what? After you have enough rest, the mind will withdraw. You will know also, because what? You have the awareness of wearing all the time. You can see the sankhara will want to stop to think again. And this time back, the same whole process we go again. Head, but the second round we are going is very clear. You can see it like a very shadow kind of imaging coming out, not sharp enough at this moment, and you keep going it. The more you focus onto the different parts of the body in a sequence way that has been described just now, may 1 round, 5 round, 10 round, 100 round, 1,000 round, 1,000 round. You just watch and see. The mind will go into samadhi, go into quiet concentration, bang, 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 many times. Then the more we do, look at it, you see your mindfulness will grow, become very powerful. And the minute you focus only, bam, sometimes you can have images sharp, so clear. For example, you say head, bang, the scar appear in front of you, sharp. Like what you're watching me now, I'm watching you now, so sharp. You look at different part of the body. And now, how can you don't believe what we say? Wisdom can, this contemplation, we use it, Panya Obram Samadhi. That means that wisdom develops samadhi. Actually, we thought this term is what? Contemplations of the body develop, you can bring you samadhi. And with this samadhi go in, bam, straight away you also get what? The insight, straight away, simultaneously. You will clear the doubts about the practice. Right and there, once, one like that. Okay? So, but you got to do many rounds. Many rounds. Okay?
Thank you, Than Ajaan Keng. Now the next question 11, is on practice also. As I watch my mind, sometimes I observe that my mind is without thought or emotions. It seems quite quiet and empty. But as my mindfulness increases, I realize that my mind is not quiet and empty. There's actually a sense of sadness and unhappiness clouding the whole mind. It is very subtle in the background and not easy to see. Do I experience this because my mindfulness is stronger? That's why I can see it. So this shock arose in me, and a thought came up: who is sad and quiet? this thought arose naturally. It didn't come from a thinking mind. Can Than Ajaan Keng share what you think this sadness is? Why is it there? And is this always on?
This sadness is what we call khandas, right? They are not you. You don't go and take occupation in them. We just acknowledge that, oh, they are just gas. Because you are mindful, that's why you can arrest them. If you are not mindful, you will drop into them. That's why a lot of people, they suffer mental depression. They always drop into that stage of mind. They say, my mind, boom, inside there. But if you were to watch it like what you're doing now, correct. You are, the mind just know. That is just a mind state. We call it mental mind state. Mental mind state of sadness, mental mind state of unhappiness, sadness. They are there. It is just that our mindfulness, our mind is not strong, not sharp enough, not fast enough to arrest them. It comes out so fast. Bang! You see, and you see how we latch on to think, how our mind, how our greed let us to latch on to think. Even though I give a very easy to identify my state. Today, when you're taking your food, right? How many mouthfuls do you chew? Okay. And you see, when you take your food, before even you chew your food, your mind already pung, I want this, I want that. But the minute you take your fish, pop, you want the soup also, you want this kway teow, you want roti prata also. You see how our mind goes so fast. Right, wrong? You see, so fast. But a lot of people, they thought that this is normal. But for practitioner, we are very particular. Every top moment, you go pop, you see, we can perceive it clearly. Now, it's just that when you're mindful, it's up to you to decide, should I or should I not? That's all. Right? This is where karma comes in. A lot of people, they say that they know, but yet they do. Right? They know it's wrong, but how come you do? Don't tell me you don't know. I know. I'm mindful of it, but still I do. Right? It's not, this mental training, mind training is not so easy. Right? You got to sit and meditate. If you don't meditate, or you don't have samadhi, don't talk. You don't have samadhi, you can never eradicate this defilement, let me tell you. Then people watch the mind. So what? You can watch the mind. You can only watch the mind, but how to don't do according to the mind, to this kind of mind state. And we always become the slave, being dragged into it, right? Okay.
Thank you, Than Ajaan Keng. So the next question is, how can I develop psychic power?
Psychic power. Sit more, sit more, sit more. Sit more. Sit until the backside pain, your bone pain, like want to crack the whole body on the burst at time, also cannot move. Then we talk about psychic power. Okay?
Thank you, Than Ajaan Keng. Okay, the next question is from New Zealand. Please tell us, who is your biggest contemporary Buddhist hero and why? I don't know whether this is appropriate to ask.
Contemporary.
Chao Keng, maybe I think we skip this. The next question is, I've met a Thai monk who gave blessed Buddha statues and amulets. Our family appreciate his gift for the first time. However, we don't make an altar for it. The blessed Buddha statue was left on the shelf for decoration and amulets were put in the car for blessing the car. So the question from Eva from New Zealand is this. If one cannot keep the holy stones Buddha statue due to moving or traveling overseas, how should one dispose it properly without offending the devas? And if the Buddha statue is left on the display shelf, is it considered as offending to the devas or the god? Thank you, Than Ajaan Keng, for your advice.
Okay, normally for object of worship, we will put in a high place. right? Even though we don't have an altar, we receive it, we treat it with respect, right? With respect, deep respect in our heart, we put in a high place, higher than our head, up in the cupboard or somewhere, that so people don't step on it. And of course, regarding about disposing all this religious object, is always good to bring it back to the temple and express that you have this problem, and you don't want to treat it with that respect, and I hope that the temple can accept it and give it to someone else who need it. I think that is the more appropriate way. Or in case there's opportunity, anyone is building a pagodas or JD or what, we can just bring them to say that, I want to participate to put my family Buddha image which is given to us, and to place in a high place, to offer to the Buddha in the pagoda. I think that's more appropriate. If you have the opportunity, I mean.
Thank you, Than Ajaan Keng. So the next question is from Manfred from US. He's asking if is there an opportunity for him to learn more about meditation and get enlightenment?
Oh, of course, definitely. Definitely.
Now the next question is from Hui Jian from Singapore. May I know why do I get affected whenever I see my mother raising her voice to my father? My father has been benevolent and has not had any temper. How can I help my mother? Thank you.
Well, it takes two hands to clap, because the father know, in order for married life to prolong, one person pull, one person must let go. If both person pull, it will break the string, right? We can only, I think sometimes is the parents' business. We as a third party is better that we just try to tell the mother, and sometimes the father also like it, because sometimes, when the mother never shout, the father will feel that something missing. Who knows? My parents, when they were together, they always quarrel, but their quarrel is a kind of argument, but nothing. You see, don't take it too hard. Leave them alone. You are not them.
Okay, thank you, Than Ajaan Keng. So the next question from Saleh Avera from USA. What is the result of comparing and criticizing others?
Comparing and criticizing others.
Yes.
The result. Normally when we accept criticism, we want to compare. We compare with someone better than us, right? We are not arahant. We must compare how to become arahant, right? Maybe you say that, too high the standard. Okay lah, sotapanna. Right? We compare something good. We compare something good. But of course, we also must be very, very down to earth, that within ourselves, can we practice or not? If we want to compare something, and of course, criticism, we say that it based on your intentions. Sometimes we don't say criticism, we say that we have this good intention to give people the advice. It's how you put it. How you put it. When you criticize, you're running down someone else, then we say that, and with your intention, then we say it's criticism, and of course, but if we are someone who always very negligent, very irresponsibility, and someone says something, and with the kind of people that always been being carried away, always receive praise and cannot be tell you what to do because of the ego, then you think that, he always criticize me, blah, 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 blah. But hey, you got to take it that did what other people talk about us, the defect about us, is it true? Do we have the problems? If we have, thank you. I will change. I make sure I change. Right? Right? Then if we want to compare, I say compare with someone higher standard than us, better practitioner than us. Don't compare to someone who is a drunk, not practitioner. No. And they say that I'm better than that. At least I'm here. No. You must always, then this is how a practitioner can move forward. Right? This is how we can eradicate our defilement, because the more we practice, the more we start to synchronize within ourselves. We look at ourselves, we see. Sometimes we don't see the defect or the weaknesses of oneself, right? And we must thank those people who dare or have the compassionate to tell us off. And of course, like the Buddha said, when you were to tell somebody or to advise somebody, we must see this person. Is his mind ready to accept enough? This is very important. And you that going to tell him, you advise him out of compassionate or out of anger, dissatisfied, want to get back at him or her. This time must be very, very big, you must make sure that, okay, maybe not the time yet. I don't say, wait for the time. It can be long time. How long, we don't know. We got to wait for the right situation, right timing. Boom. Then we say, this is skillful. But it just boom like that. Instead of doing good, you bust out the whole thing. So like, this is how we look at how we take criticism and comparison. Okay.
Good, maybe the last 3 questions. So this one is on meditation. When I thought I'm meditating well, I still have a lot of dreams. However, there's one time when during my meditation, there's many thoughts arising, but when I sleep that evening, there were no dreams and it was peaceful. Why is it so? From Aoyang, Singapore.
The mind is like that. One moment up in the heaven, one moment down into the hell. It's normal. This mind is normal, right? Sometimes your meditation can be good, sometimes no good. This is normal for all practitioners, right? Because our mind think of good thought or mind think of bad thoughts. When bad thought got more bad thought, of course, how your meditation going to be well? It cannot be well. But of course, this moment, that's why we say, when the Buddha said we got to cultivate metta bhavana, thoughts of goodwill. Thought of goodwill, we got to cultivate thoughts of goodwill, because this thought of goodwill have 11 benefits. 11 benefits. Sukhang supati. You sleep well, you wake up well, don't have bad dreams. Sukhang supati, sukhang patibojana papakang supinam pasati ni. You wake up refreshed. Manusa nang piyohoti ni. Manusa nang. Human being will like you. Manusa nang piyohoti. Non-human being will also like you. Tewata rakanti ni. The devas, the divine beings will protect you. Rakanti. And this sharp object, poison, fire cannot get near you, cannot injure you. And your mind will go to attention samadhi ati. Your mind can gain concentration easily. Your complexion will be good. And in the moment of the death, your mind won't be confused. And the Brahma world will be the place that you'll be reborn. That's why we got to cultivate the thoughts of goodwill, right?
So thank you, Than Ajaan Keng. Next from Felina, Indonesia. Vandami Bante, since registering for this retreat, I have been listening to Ajahn Dhamma Desana's talk on YouTube. There's one session when Ajahn shared about when a beginner starts to meditate, sometimes they feel tension around the chest. Could Than Ajaan Keng please advise on this experience?
Okay, when I say tension, because sometimes you're focusing too hard. Meditation is something that you got to do trial and errors. For example, you're focusing too hard on your chest. That means you're forcing things to happen. Then you have this, we call it very uneasy feeling on the chest, or you might have headache. You might have headache because you focus you compress too hard, pressing too hard, right? You got to keep adjusting your breath. That means you're breathing, keeping the breath in mind, or you use putto. You got to take, okay, when I breathe this way, how is it? And try to breathe using the chest. There is tension there. Okay, relax. Keep telling yourself relax, and breathe away the tensions slowly, and it will go away gradually. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Than Ajaan Keng. Then the next question: how to overcome sleepiness when meditating? From Sunchit, Malaysia.
Sleepiness
When meditating.
Okay. First thing, you must see whether what is your work. Maybe your job load is too tiring. Sometimes you just come here from work so tired, and you meditate, so sleep. Don't talk about you. Right along, Wei Ming. So what to do? Go and take a rest first, take a bath, and then take a rest first. After you rest ready, bodily rest, mentally, can sleep for a while, then you meditate. But after you have rest ready, then you meditate, you drop into a state of drowsiness. This one is different case now. Now we got to fight. I use the word fight. That means you got to really fight. You cannot watch the breath. You watch your breath, sure go to sleep 100%, because already you drop into drowsiness already. You must wake up the mind. Like that. Have an object of concentration. Make the mind think of something. Wake it up. Or do walking meditation. And while doing walking meditation, if you still yawn, that means you are still tired. Or you walk, you can see your walking lane become 2 lanes. That means you're really mentally tired. It's better you go and take a rest. Don't force things. No point meditating and keep sleeping. But every time you sit, but you feel sleepy, then something is wrong. You better check why. What did I do? Reflect on your, what do you call that? Your precept. On those things that you do. What did you do wrong? What did you say wrong? Reflect on that. Sometimes it might have something to do with your speech. Sometimes it might have something to that your itchy mouth going to say something that offending someone who is sacred or what, we don't know. Then you say, oh yeah, I go and scold my mother, or I scold one of the respected monks or teacher mentally. Then you better ask for forgiveness, because this thing can happen, right? It can happen. I'm not threatening people, but it can happen.
Okay, thank you, Than Ajaan Keng. It's almost 3 o'clock. Should we take one last question, or we should end already?
Yep. Okay. Yep.
One last one. Okay, so the last one is from Kim Fong in Malaysia. When I chant one day and the next day, if I don't chant, most of the time I will get nightmare of spirit disturbing me. And in these dreams, I will be chanting for my life to stop them disturbing me, to ask them to stop disturbing me. For example, chanting Namo Tassa or Iti Piso, whatever I can remember. So it makes me scared to chant. Do you think this is a result of my previous karma? And what should I do about this?
Okay, actually, I can only congratulate you because you got a lot of merits. I view it this way. You have always been coming to you because why? You are like a rich lady who got a lot of goodness to share with them. That's why they come to you, right? Why they don't go other people? Because they don't have enough. So you got to continue chanting and transfer merit to them. Okay? Do the chanting, and you, if permits, do dana, perform dana. For example, building, when people want to build temple, build kuti, spring dharma books, build toilet, or any meritorious deed. It's not a amount, it's your participations. And when you participated, then the minute you participated, you say, okay, may this merit accumulated, may be dedicated to all these beings that has been coming to me. May they receive the merit and may they gain a better rebirth. And after a while, things will be better. Okay.
Thank you, Tan Chao Kun. So I think we